Because men are useless.
This clip is almost 1 year old, and yet this is one of the main reasons why I wanted to start this channel, because it is a poster child of what happened to American men in the recent years.
And by the way, I want to differentiate between straight men and gay men, because I think I would die without gay men.
Yes, this is a woman co-hosting one of the most popular daytime TV shows in America, single-handedly declaring all men useless, as she is comfortably sitting in a building that was built and maintained largely by men, with electricity and other essential services provided mainly by men, in the security that is provided mainly by men in the local law enforcement agencies, and of course exercising her freedom of speech that is also defended by our military, which is also mainly men. And if the building bursts on fire, a bunch of men will rush in and drag her to safety, risking their lives. And of course, let's not forget that there are plenty of men on her staff making this show possible. Imagine if the roles were reversed and a bunch of men on national TV would be calling women useless. Well, you can't imagine that, because that never happens, because every single man knows that if they even remotely criticize women, even if justifiably so, they will be canceled and fired. That is the protocol. Now, the reason why American women can say that about men flat out on national TV is because American men, much like many other Western men, have mutated into this weird and pathetic subspecies that we had to create a new word for, which is simps. And the majority of these men, the simps, actually believe that they are useless because they've been told so by women, and as good little boys that they are, they obey. You think even a single man who works on that show quit that day? No. They all tucked their tails between their legs and continued piling through. I mean, imagine working for somebody who thinks that you are useless because of your sex. And most men who work for that show do belong to a union who would be very quick to take actions if the roles were reversed. But do you think that union did anything about this? Having half of the people they're supposed to represent being called useless based on their sex? No. But they did not stop there. After pointing out that all men were useless, they decided to point out which men specifically were especially useless. Can you guess who those men were?
My husband, it takes a village of women to make sure that he's not emaciated, starving, and living in his own filth. He can, you know.
That's right. She decided to humiliate her own husband on national TV, and much like those men who worked for her, her husband, when she got home, also tucked his balls in between his legs and took it like a good little simp he is. Now, one of the women on the panel actually tried defending her husband, but that did not last that long.
I have Handy Manny at home. He fixes everything. When things go bump in the night, he's the one that goes downstairs. When there's a bug to be exterminated, he does the extermination.
Nope.
When there is something to be fixed, he fixes it. He throws out the trash and he throws out the recyclables. I enjoy all the man stuff.
So
he does in
But
my
wait a
house.
second. I know what you're going to say, but wait. She's really talking about a servant, let's face it.
No.
It's a handyman she's talking about.
No, it's a handy manny.
Oh, it's a handyman with benefits.
We do not have...
Well, but the things that you're describing, you could pay somebody to do that.
That's right. That's Joe Behar, who's apparently a comedian, explaining that every single chore that man does around the house can simply be replaced by hired help. And she's not wrong. It's absolutely true that you can pay for most of the chores that men do around the house. However, there are still plenty of things that women need men for in relationships that you cannot pay for. The same, however, cannot be said when the roles are reversed. That's right, men can crowdsource a wife by hiring for services that are widely available almost anywhere. Can you guess what those 4 services are? I actually personally know a few men who are doing just that and are very happy, much happier than many other men that I know who are married or are in relationships. But jokes and puns aside, and this is why I started this channel, is men in America and Western countries have a huge problem on their hands, which they themselves have created. Despite the fact that everything around us is mainly built and maintained and protected by mainly men, somehow women who are enjoying this civilized society and this civilized world have convinced those men that they're actually useless. But unfortunately, somehow, American and Western men have forgotten how to demand the respect that they absolutely deserve. And the only way to get it back is for all men to actually realize it and unite in demanding that respect, and it really shouldn't take that long. I personally would propose that we pick one day, 24 hours, and all agree not to show up to our useless jobs, including fire departments, police departments, military, power plants. Just don't show up. And let's see what happens to women in those 24 hours. And I think we all know what will happen. But for now, how about baby steps? How about when you hear women call men useless, you actually stand up for yourself and speak up? Something that women have been teaching each other for many decades and have gotten pretty fucking good at it. I think we need to catch up. If you want to ditch modern women and move abroad for more traditional relationships, go to themillionmanproject.com, take my most comprehensive course, and change your life.